Hello there, beautiful people. I hope you are as excited for the continuation of an octave higher as I am. We're gonna be, diving right in. Right, so, oh, right, this is the factory girl. Okay, let's go. Today I'm not going to the factory because I've promised Franz, the boy I met yesterday, that I'd go with him. I feel bad for skipping work, but I must admit that getting 2 days worth of pay for not working is a pretty nice deal. No, that's not it. At least, bad. I'm only going with Franz today because I've promised to help him with his research. I didn't catch everything he told me yesterday, but the gist of his explanation is that he is doing research at school about how to make compassion magic able to affect non-living beings, basically what I've been trying to do to the broken piano. He said if the research is successful, it may even lead to the creation of compassion magic machines, which has the potential to revolutionize the medical industry. I guess it's kind of a big deal. Personally, I am excited just to know that I might be able to fix the piano. I wait for Franz at the omnibus stop. He told me that we'd meet at 9 o'clock, but I don't have a chronometer, so I don't know exactly what time. No. I hope I'm not late. When an omnibus comes by, another factory worker who has been waiting at the same stop asks me why I'm not getting on the bus. I tell him I'm still waiting for a friend. That reminds me, I didn't have to put on my factory uniform today because I'm not going to the factory. Force of habit, I guess, but then again, this is my best looking outfit, so it's just as well. After a few minutes, the next omnibus comes. Seeing Franz on it, I prepare to board, but he signals me to stay outside. He disembarks and the omnibus soon takes off. One tiny little second. I need to check something super quick. Okay, prepare to board, but the signal is set, embarks, yeah. To my surprise, Franz hails a taxi carriage. Takushi. I've never ridden in one of them before. You're early. I am. Usually I go to work even earlier. I thought I was running late. Oh, I see. What about you? Don't you have to go to school? It's Sunday. Of course I don't have to go to school. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Besides, it's my senior year. I don't have many classes anymore. I'm supposed to spend most of my time on my capstone project. That's what you're going to help me with. Oh, okay. School sounds fun. If I were in school, what kind of project would I be working on? How to be a Prada Magi? But there's no point thinking about something like that. It's not meant for me. So what kind of person is the man we're meeting today? He's the son of a lord, so, you know, a rich kid. What? And here I thought this guy was a rich kid. But I guess the son of a lord would be even wealthier. How can you even tell the difference at that point? Both of them must have enough money to eat like kings for the rest of their lives. A lord's son, huh? I've never met an aristocrat before. Is it really alright for me to meet him? Don't worry, he seems to be a nice person. Besides, he is the one who said he wanted to see you. The carriage drops us off in front of the lord's house. I look up and up and up. It's huge. It's somewhat similar to Maison. The only difference is that only a single family lives here, not an entire staff of sex work. A tall gentleman in an expensive-looking black suit. Wait. It's working, right? Yeah. Okay, great. Comes out, professional streamer over here. Comes out and approaches us with short, quick, but dignified strides that give off an air of nobility. I whisper to Franz. Is this the Lord? What? Are you serious? He's a butler. Wow, a real butler. I didn't think butlers existed outside of fairy tales. Good morning, may I help you? Good morning, my name is Franz Byron. I'm here to see Frederick Godwin. Ah, Mr. Byron. Lord Frederick is waiting for you. Do come in. Franz and I follow the butler inside. The butler leads us into a room. As soon as I enter the room, my eyes fall on an object in the corner. It's a piano. I assume this one isn't broken. It's not the same model as the one behind the factory. That is more expensive, obviously, but a piano is a piano. I should be able to play it with no problem. Well, I hope so anyways. I haven't touched a working piano in years. While I'm still admiring the instrument, another man who looks much younger than the butler enters the room. He is dressed magnificently. This must be the Lord's son. Franz, and after shifting his gaze to me, he falls silent. With his lips apart, he eyes me from head to toe as if studying me. Is there something wrong with the way I'm dressed? Do I look strange? He looks as if he had just seen a fairy. This must have been what I looked like when I saw the butler. Good morning, my lord. My name is Elise Shelley. Elise. Frederick, this is the girl I told you about. Yes, of course. How are you, Elise? I'm fine, my lord. Thank you for asking. Please call me Frederick. You need not be so formal with me. Oh, okay. Thank you, my lord. Well, this isn't too difficult. I wasn't sure how to behave in front of a lord, but Frederick seems to be quite friendly. However, I'm still nervous because this is the first time I've ever met a lord. But then again, I do see lords all the time in Maison, I just don't interact with them. Frederick, you said he wanted to see Elise's magic, right? Where should she cast her magic on? If you are injured or sick, I can try to heal or cure you. If not, maybe I can just energize you. Well, I think Frederick wants to see you cast compassion or something inanimate, like you did with the piano. Huh, but, well, I see that there's a piano here, but it's not broken, is it? Suppose I can break it and... No! His sudden shout makes me jump. No, please do not break my father's piano. He would not be pleased. For a second, there is, horror in Frederick's face. Oh, okay, I won't. Franz, will you give us a moment? I'd like to speak with Elise alone. Huh? Franz and I stare at each other. He looks as surprised as me. Oh gods, I don't want to be alone with him. I plead to Franz with my... Wait, I'm gonna record this, so I can later take a screenshot. This is gonna be my second thumbnail. Oh guys, I don't want to be alone with him. I plead to Franz with my eyes. Franz, please don't go, I beg you. Please don't leave me alone with this guy. Franz returns my gaze with a sharp look and a nod. He turns to Frederick. Okay, I'm leaving her to you, Frederick. What? No! Do you know how in picture books, two people can often communicate their feelings by staring into each other's eyes? Today I've learned that it is just another lie. Why are children taught things like this? After Franz has left, it's just me and Frederick alone together. The room feels bigger. For a moment, nobody speaks. So, Elise, if you're helping Franz with his research, it must mean that you are gifted in compassion, right? Yes, of course, I'm also gifted in courage, but Franz never said anything about researching courage magic. I see. What do you think about your compassion trait? Think about it? I never think anything about it. It's just something I was born with. Is that so? I guess compassion suits you because you're a girl. Bruh! Really, I don't think it has anything to do with gender, but maybe you're right. What are your magical traits, Frederick? Willpower and... courage. Oh, he's lying. Oh, we share a trait, that's nice. Indeed. Willpower and courage, huh? I heard that combination is usually found in an Uncut person, but I guess that's not true. You seem very polite to me. Haha. Yeah, well. Frederick is most definitely the quietest lord I've ever known. The lords that... Because he has a boner, lady! Come on! You've been living at a freaking maison. You surely understand that men have boners, you know? Often come to maison all loud and pushy, especially after a few drinks. Something about the way he is staring at my face still makes me uncomfortable though, so I avoid meeting his gaze. My eyes fall on the piano again. It's really different from the broken piano in the factory backyard. This piano looks so much more elegant, truly something that befits a lord's house. I wonder what kind of sound it makes. Do you like the piano? Huh? Yeah. He must have noticed me staring at the piano instead of looking at him. That was very rude of me. Do you want to try playing it? Can I? I mean, no, thank you, sorry. It's alright, go ahead and play the piano. I would like to hear you play. Oh, okay, thank you, my lord. I walk over to the piano and sit down carefully. For a few seconds, I just sit silently admiring his beauty. Its beauty. His beauty, huh? I bring my finger... I hope it wasn't a Freudian slip, or maybe I'm awakening to something here. I bring my finger to the middle F key and apply some pressure. The piano emits a lovely sound. Ha ha. Ha ha. I turned my head to see Frederick watching me. Sorry, I've pressed the same key on the broken piano 100 times, but it has never made a sound, so when I heard that sound from this piano, I just found it funny for some reason. I guess I'm the only person who would find it funny. Frederick must be thinking I'm a weird girl. My face feels hot all of a sudden. Yes, I understand what you mean. Uh-huh. I face the piano again. I close my eyes and place my hands on the keyboard. I haven't played a real piano in years. I hope I can still play well enough. I press a key, then another. My fingers move from note to note. I've chosen a piano sonata with a slow tempo so I can take my time getting used to the piano. Andante. The piano. Holy shit! She hasn't played in years, and she can do this. Wow. The piano sounds beautiful. I mean, if it's a few months, I can barely play anything on that thing. The piano sounds beautiful. I'm surprised at how well I can still play. My almost daily practice with the broken piano must have counted for something after all. The music is still as I remember it. Although this piano is not what I used to play, it answers me just the same. It answers me with a most pleasant melody. I keep playing. When I close my eyes, I feel as if I was being consumed by the music. Before long, my hands are moving on the piano by themselves. I am as much an audience as I am a performer. I can feel the tune of each note not only with my ears, but also with my soul. It's like the music was standing beside me, taking my hand in hers, and guiding me to a place she only knows. It's warm. The music smiles at me, and I at her. I feel at peace. There are no pearls and bourgeois. There's no maison de beauvoir. There's no factory. There's no broken piano. Where we are, there's only happiness. Elise service me? What? Wait, can I stream this? You heard me. I want you to service me. What is he saying? Serve you. How do you want me to serve you? You know what I mean. Service me like you service your customers every night. Holy shit. I feel... Okay, I hope I can stream this. Well, I'm gonna just pop the overlay if it comes to worst. I feel cold sweat in the back of my neck. This isn't a rape story or anything, right? I don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I know that you work at Maison de Beauvoir. I know what you are. I step back while shaking my head, but Frederick comes nearer. You're wrong. I don't work at a Maison. I'll pay you. It's not a question of money. How much do they normally pay? I'll double that. No, I told you were wrong. I live at Maison, but I don't work there. I don't take customers. Frederick keeps advancing. I'm back to a wall. No, I'm not that kind of girl. Get away from me. He halts his steps. What happened? Franz looks at me questioningly. Elise, is something wrong? I don't know what to say. I don't want Franz to find out about me living at Maison. He won't let me be part of his research project or thinks I'm a... I feel my face burning. My eyes are starting to sting with hot tears. Elise, I run past Franz and exit through the open door. Elise! I don't stop. I need to get out of here. Outside the house, I just walk around randomly. I don't know this area at all. It's like a foreign land to me. I stop myself from crying. I refuse to shed a tear over this little thing. Why couldn't I just explain the situation to them? Franz was there. He would have listened. But there's no point. Frederick wasn't wrong. He was technically wrong, but in 3 months, he'll be right. In fact, I somewhat regret rejecting his offer. If I'm gonna haul myself out in 3 months anyway, I might as well start now. Frederick is at least handsome, some of them men who show up at Maison. I don't want to think about it. It's only adding to my sense of shame. I'm disgusted at myself. It's making me even more frustrated. I'm angry. I'm angry at Frederick. I'm angry at Franz for taking me to him. But I'm also angry at myself. I'd curse my fate if such a thing existed. Where am I? Where am I going? There are aristocrats all around me that I could ask for directions, but most of them try to avoid eye contact. Some, though, are outright staring at me like I'm some kind of exotic animal. I've been walking for almost half an hour, but I haven't seen a single omnibus stop. This must be why Franz took me here in a taxi carriage. There's no shortage of taxi carriages here, but I can't afford one. And even if I could, it's unlikely the driver would let me in. Finally, I reach a main city street. I am completely lost, though. I've never been in this part of the city. I continue to wander without knowing where I'm going. I see a policeman. Maybe he can tell me where I can find an omnibus stop. Excuse me. The policeman glances at me for a second, but doesn't say anything. Can you tell me where I can find an omnibus stop? He ignores me. Hello? Do you know where the nearest omnibus stop is? Will you tell me, please? Finally, without even looking at me, he uses his thumb to point to his right. It doesn't look like he's gonna tell me anything more. Thanks. I walk in the direction he pointed, but his direction isn't helpful at all. I still don't know where the omnibus stop is. He wouldn't answer me properly because I'm a proletarian. He can tell by the way I'm dressed. But when they say their job is to serve and protect, they're talking about protecting the bourgeoisie and the aristocrats. They can't be bothered with people like me. I still haven't found an omnibus stop despite having walked for what seems like miles. There have been a number of intersections since I left the policeman. He was lying to me for all I know. But what would I even do if I did find an omnibus stop? Go home to Maison de Beauvoir so I can prepare to become a whore in 3 months? I can't go home. I have no home. Maison de Beauvoir is not my home. I don't want to go back there. I don't have anywhere to go. I continue dragging my feet, not even caring where they'd take me. I glimpse up at the sun above. That got dark very fast. Although I don't have a chronometer, I can tell that it is already past noon. My stomach growls. I skipped breakfast this morning, and there was no time to eat lunch before I stormed out of the Lord's mansion. I stop when I come across a small bistro. Perhaps I can buy a slice of bread for lunch. I quick look at the menu written on a chalkboard outside the bistro. Nick says that idea. What? Huh? I move along. Ah, right. Nick says that. Okay, I see. In this part of town, I don't even have enough money for a cup of tea. Franz had promised to pay me as compensation for not working today, but I left before receiving any money. In other words, I just lost a day's wage for nothing. My legs are getting weak. They're trembling. I don't know how many miles I've walked. Suddenly my right foot trips on a stone, causing me to fall headlong to the brick pavement. Oh, man. Trying to get back up, I see I've scraped my left knee. It's bleeding and the pain stings. Still on the ground, I touch my scraped knee with my hand and start focusing on compassion. Transform. Nothing happens. The scrape is still there. It's still bleeding and I'm still hurting. I don't have enough mana for this. I even forgot to ask Franz for a bottle this morning. If I hadn't run from Frederick's house, Franz would have given me a mana potion so that I could demonstrate my magic. I didn't think of any of this through, did I? Well, I mean, given the situation, you know, I look around, the passerby, I probably wouldn't have any time to think too. The passerby pretend to have not seen me. They go about their business as if there wasn't a girl hunkering down on the pavement with a bleeding knee. A couple of teenagers, a boy and a girl, walk by. The boy notices and points at me while saying something to the girl. As he is about to walk over to me, the girl grabs the boy's hand and shakes her head at him. The boy throws me another glance before leaving with the girl. What should I do? What can I do? I obviously can't go to a hospital because I don't have the money. It seems my only option is to ignore it, stand up, and keep walking. A scraped knee really isn't that big of a deal. That's true. Just when I am about to get up, I feel compassion from above. 90. Compassion from above! The scrape disappears from my knee. The pain is completely gone. I look up to find a tall man standing behind me. Tall man! Does your knee still hurt? The man is not only tall, but also big. Not round big like some lords who frequent Maison, but strong big. He looks like a superhero from Children's... He does. His skin is darker than most people in Overture, though not black dark like the slaves they bring from far south. His face is showing some age, but it's still very much full of life. I'd say he is in his 30s. No, it's completely healed now. Thank you very much, sir. I'm sorry you had to waste your mind on me. Oh, don't worry about it. Do you have other injuries that need healing? No, I'm perfectly healthy now. I haven't even finished speaking when my stomach growls loudly. Bat stomach, bat. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Excuse me, I need to run away. It's what I do when I get embarrassed, apparently. Wait, don't go, young lady. I suppose your stomach problem isn't something that I can treat with magic, but why don't you come with me? There's a place where they serve really great food. No, you've done enough for me, thank you. I can't make this stranger buy me a meal on top of healing my injury. Don't worry, young lady, this place is cheap, so it's not gonna make you broke. We'll split the bill. Is that okay for you? I probably won't be able to afford my half, actually. Of course you will. You're a factory worker, aren't you? Factory workers go to eat there all the time. I glance down at my factory uniform for a second before looking up again. Oh, okay, I'll go with you. My mouth is watering already. The man holds out his arm for me. Alright, shall we go, young lady? Elise? It's not young lady, it's Elise. My apologies. I am Jasang Alijabana. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Lady Elise. It's a foreign name. Yeah, Jazong. Okay, nice to meet you, Jazong. Shall we? Yeah. Once upon a time, my mother made me a promise to never go with a stranger who promises candy or ice cream. Well, it turns out you can be hungry enough even to break promises to your mother. Jisung and I set off. We've gone far away from the center of the city. We're now in a prose area. Jisung's clothes aren't very bourgeois-ish, but they aren't quite prose either. However, from the way he effortlessly navigates the prose back streets, I guess he must be from around here. Or our streets are like a huge maze. But if he is a proletarian, how does he have mana? Here we are. We stop in front of a small wooden house at the corner of an intersection. A wide range of dishes is arranged in a cupboard, visible from outside through a glass window. The foods look alien. Well, let's go in. Yeah. I don't see any other customers, most likely because it's now past lunchtime, but not yet time for dinner. Hey Pops, Jisang Tails calls to an older man whom I assume to be the owner. The old man's skin is also dark like Jisang's. They must have come from the same country, though they don't look similar enough to be family. Jisang, aren't you a little too old to be picking up girls? What are you talking about? I'm turning 17 this year. What the fuck? Huh, there's only one long table with stools around it. Jisang and I sit at the table. Bro is 17 and looks like this? Holy shit, what's he eating? What do you want to eat? What does he have? I try peeking at the dishes in the cupboard, but none of them look familiar. Well, why don't you just leave that to me? Jisang gets up, walks over to the cupboard, and talks to the old man while pointing at some dishes. He returns to the table. A short time later, the old man comes with 2 plates of white rice and a pot of something. What is this? It's some kind of creamy green soup with toppings that give the impression of rubbish floating in sewer water. Suddenly, I don't feel so... It's green. Are you sure this is edible? It's vegetables and coconut milk. Holy shit, that sounds luxurious. There's a variety of vegetables in there. Young jackfruit, eggplant, chayate? How do you pronounce that? I don't even know what that is. Wait. Let me just quickly Google it. Oh, it's a squash. Alright then. I know what a squash is. Okay, right. Let me take another screenshot real quick. It's vegetables and coconut milk soup. There's a variety of vegetables in there. Young jackfruit, eggplant, melenio, long beans. It also has tofu and tempeh. We call this sayurore. What the fuck? You guys have tofu? I don't even know what half of those ingredients are. Did he say jackfruit? How is that a vegetable? The old man comes again with another plate of something. Again, I have no idea what food is. It is. It looks as if the chef just put in whatever he could find in his kitchen and drowned it all in a brown, light, and fluffy but mostly liquid substance. Why is it brown? It's, oh my gosh, this looks gross. You didn't have to say it twice. It looks like, that's just peanut sauce. Stop making that face. This is a kind of salad called gado gado. It's a mixture of vegetables such as potatoes, string beans, bean sprouts, spinach, corn, cabbage, tofu, tempeh, hard-boiled eggs, and we mix them in peanut sauce dressing. The old man comes again, this time with a plate of some kind of creature. There's a creature I've never seen before lying on the plate. It's dead, but it looks like it's just sleeping. It hasn't been prepared at all. What is this? It's a catfish, deep fried. The food itself is called peselele. Holy shit, you guys eat like kings. A catfish, yeah, catfish are not only delicious as food, but also cheap because they're easy to farm. This is absolutely the ugliest fish I've ever seen. Now, let's dig in. Okay. These foods look horrifying, but I'm very hungry right now. Here goes nothing. It's delicious. This is really good. Enjoy your meal, young lady. I can't believe it. I don't know if it's only because of my hunger, but I genuinely think that I've never tasted anything as tasty as what I'm eating right now. Other than the catfish, the food is just vegetables, but it's very rich in taste. I think it was prepared and cooked with a lot of different spices. In under 15 minutes, Jisang and I have devoured everything on the table. So, how was it? It's delicious. Were they the traditional foods of your own country? Very observant of you, Lady Elise. What country is that? Lady Elise, what day is it? Date is it today? Sunday, 27th of Sextilis. To be more accurate, the year is AM 313. But it has always been AM ever since I was born in AM 298. What is AM anyway, and why can't we just stop saying it? Oh, you can stop saying it. Many people have. I just wanted to bring it up because it has a lot to do with my country. Huh? First, why don't we talk about today's date? It's Sunday, right? Sunday is Sun's Day, named after that bright thing in the sky. Sextilis usually means the 6th. Yeah, well, I figured. Though in this case, the 6th month. All months are named similarly. Primilius means 1st, October means 8th. What? Oh. Because Octo, I see. Huh. Oh, I've always thought that October sounds similar to octopus. Must be because they're both related to the number 8. Yeah. Yeah, my thoughts precisely. Yes, your assumption is correct. Octo means 8. Anyway, what's really interesting is the year. AM is short for Anno Magi. It means the year of magic. Year of magic. Therefore, when you say Sunday, what you're really saying is a day of the sun, the 27th day of the 6th month in the 313th year of magic. Why is it called the year of magic? Because AM1 is the year in which Overture discovered magic. Wow, but what does all this have to do with your country? I was just about to come to that. Do you know what Temulawak is? Ah, mana potions. He's like a mana potion merchant or something. Actually, you do, but you call it something else. This file contains the extract of Temulawak. That's a mana potion. That's right. Temulawak is what a mana potion is called in its native land, my homeland, thousands of miles away in the east. It's an archipelago called Dvipantara. Dvipantara, thousands of miles again, away. That's really far. I've heard that mana potions are imported from a land in the far east, but I never knew how far is it exactly. And you came to Overture from this land. It's actually more accurate to say that I was brought here. I was brought here almost 20 years ago in order to work as a slave, but 10 years ago I escaped from my master and have been living among the pros ever since. Oh. If he was brought here to become a slave, that must mean that Jasong's homeland is an Overturian colony. So, when you said that AM1 is the year when Overture discovered magic, that's when traders from Overture found Temulawak and Nivpantara. I see. Since mana potions come from your land, your people must be really good with magic. Yes and no. What do you mean? It's true that thanks to Temulawak, our people have been able to use magic for thousands of years, compared to Overture that only discovered mana and magic 313 years ago, after sailing to our land, colonizing it, and taking our mana potions. The best magicians from Dvipantara can cast really powerful magic spells whose magic formula aren't even known to Overturian mages. On the other hand, magic was only studied scientifically after Overturian scientists created the method for doing so. As a result, Overturian mages are able to cast magic spells more efficiently and reliably. Has it ever crossed your mind that the phrase magical science is an oxymoron? What moron? Haha, I mean the phrase magical science contradicts itself. It does. Magic by definition is unscientific. Magic by definition can't be understood. It's only magic because it's magical. How could magic be scientific? How could science be magical? Oh, I see. That term still exists, nevertheless, because at one time magic was magical, because before it was studied by Overturian scientists, magic was an inexplicable phenomenon. Nobody understood it. It was rightly called magic. I see, so it only became science after mana was brought to Overture 300 years ago. Yeah, moreover, a practical application of magical science emerged 30 years ago in Overture with the invention of magical machines, at the same time giving birth to a new academic discipline called magical engineering. Oh. Hey, Jasong, you said that magicians from your homeland can cast magic spells with unknown formulas, right? Why aren't they known? Because magical scientists can only figure out the formula of magic spells that they themselves can cast. Dvipantaran magic is beyond their abilities. Why don't they get Dvipantaran magicians who can cast the spells to tell them the formulas? Because those magicians don't know the formula either. Huh? Why is it strange? Dvipantaran magicians were already using magic long before magical science existed. The way my people think about magic is entirely different. Wow, this is really interesting. I want to hear more about Dvipantara. Ah, there are indeed many more things to tell about my homeland. One day I will surely tell you all about it. A tale of the land from which magic comes, but has to be a story for another time. It felt like Jisung wasn't saying that to me. Strange. Okay. We leave after paying the old man. As Jisung has promised, the food was quite cheap. It's already sundown when we're back in the city. Jisung is still with me, which means he doesn't work on Sundays. I wonder what kind of job he has, considering that he has mana. He even has an extra mana potion with him. It's getting dark. Are you going home? Yeah, home, yeah. I still don't want to go back to Maison. Where am I gonna go? I have nowhere to go. I could stay over at Jude's house, I think, but no, I can't do that. If Jude knew about Maison, she'd ask me to live with her, and then it'd just become a burden. I guess I'll have to sleep on a street somewhere. Yeah, it's time I went home, haha. Where'd you live? I will escort you. No, you don't have to do that. Jisung Alizabana. I was interrupted by the voice of a woman. Fancy meeting you here, Alizabana. Janice Wolf. And why is the commander of Dragoon patrolling on the street? Isn't that supposed to be the job of your subordinates? While speaking, Jisung slowly positions himself between me and the woman. Because this commander received a report from her subordinates about a muscular foreigner who was spotted using magic in broad daylight. Incidentally, his description fits a certain high-ranking Libertad member. There are no ranks at Libertad, Wolf. Yet somehow I knew it was you all the same, Alijabana. Who is this woman? I guess the fight is about to erupt. What are she and Jisung talking about? What is Libertad? Without warning, the woman extends her right arm forward. A huge ball of fire erupts from her hand. It flies right at us. Just as quickly, Jisung nullifies gravity with his right hand to propel himself into the air. Not have I! At the same time, his left hand is causing heavy rain to fall on the ball of fire that is now zooming toward me. The fire is extinguished in an instant. This is the first time I've seen someone cast two magic spells at the same time. Farewell, Commander Wolf. Hey. Now high in the air, Jisung casts a wind spell that carries him far away. Soon I can no longer see him. In the span of just a few seconds, Jisung had cast 3 different magic spells, but using 3 different magical traits. Earlier today, he healed me with a spell based on yet another different magical trait. That makes 4 in total. He left you here. The woman stares at me with a piercing gaze. Now, must I summon the shit out of your ass, or will you come quietly to the police station like a good little bitch? Holy shit. My gosh, this woman is vulgar. Wait, I only met Jisung today. I don't really know him. Don't lie to me. A thick magical aura starts slowly emanating from her. She was able to shoot a fireball so effortlessly before, so the only reason she is emitting magical aura now is to give me a warning. She's telling me that she could easily kill me if she wanted to. What is a girl like you doing in Libertad? What? I don't even know what Libertad is. Bullshit. Her aura is getting stronger. She starts accumulating courage in her right hand and willpower in her left. Damn it. I guess we're fucked. She won't listen to me. I won't be able to win against her. That leaves running away as my only option. Unfortunately, I can only use fire magic and healing magic, neither of which will help me escape. Elise! I hear a shout from behind me. Elise! I came here after feeling an unusually strong magical aura. I'm shocked to find Elise facing off against a policewoman. I've been looking for her ever— right. Switch of perspective. Got it. And here it is. What is she doing? How did she get in trouble with the police? Normally I would stay away from danger, but I can't let anything happen to Elise. She's the key to my graduation. I rush to her side. When graduation is more important than your life. The policewoman eyes me while keeping her focus on Elise. Officer, there must have been a misunderstanding. Please stop. A conservatoire student. What's your relationship with this Libertin? Libertin? Did she say Libertin? Wait, you're wrong. This girl is not Libertin. She's my sister. Oh crap, my sister, really? She's not gonna buy that. Why would the sister of a conservatoire student be wearing a factory uniform? To my surprise, the policewoman releases all her magic power. Your sister, huh? After she's done laughing, she asks Elise, do you really have no relation with Jasungo? No, I only met him today. I scraped my knee, on the sidewalk, and he healed me, that's all. What a nice guy. Fine, normally I would drag your asses to the police station overnight for questioning, but today I'm feeling nice. But listen here, girlie. If I catch you doing some flunky libertot shit, I will find this brother of yours in the conservatoire. Bye-bye, kids. Stay out of trouble. The policewoman turns away and leaves. Elise? Franz? That woman was so scary. Poor girl, she must have never seen a person with such strong magical aura, let alone an aura that was aiming to fry her to crisp. It's okay now, you don't have to, worry. Elise seems to be on the verge of crying, she's shaking all over. Franz, she said she was going to summon my poop. Huh? I'm sorry. What magic spell does one use to summon poop? Poop? What are you talking about? There are no spells like that. But that woman said she was speaking figuratively. It was just to scare you. Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure you're sure? At least there's no magic like that. I would bet my conservatoire degree on this fact. Wow, she's really shaken up. Well, wait, so does that mean that I surpass... An average person surpasses the power of conservatoire, because I can summon my poop every day. Well, she's really shaken up. But Jasong said there are still spells that are unknown to magical scientists. Who the hell is this Jasong, and what does he know about poop stuff? Alright, sure. At least I'm definitely completely positively absolutely certain that no such magic exists in Overture. And even if it did, a policewoman wouldn't be caught dead using it on a teenager. Elise quiets down. A second later, all worries are gone from her face. It's good to hear that. That woman really scared me. If she had done something like that, I wouldn't be able to get married anymore. Huh? What? I still want to be a bride someday, have a family, and get a dog. Come on, shitting your pants definitely doesn't stop you from that. Pretty sure you can get a dog without being a bride, Elise. Elise, yeah? What happened to you? Why did the policewoman mistake you as a Liberton? I wanted to ask about that too. Franz, what is Libertad? I don't really know myself, but... I tell Elise about my encounter with Libertad yesterday. After that, she tells me about what has happened since she left Lord Godwin's house. How she met a man named Jasong, went for a meal together, and got attacked by the policewoman. In other words, this Jasong must be a member of Libertad. Jasong. Elise's voice is subdued, almost a whisper, like that of a little kid after scolding. Franz, Jasong is not a bad person. We don't know about that. You'd better stay away from him regardless. 1 second. Let me check that. Let me kill that. Alright. By the way, why did you leave Lord Godwin's house this morning? That was nothing, huh? I just got really nervous and, well... Something clearly happened, but Elise doesn't seem to want to talk about it. Frederick didn't mention anything either. Holy shit, Frederick is such a piece of shit. Well, if you say so, but are you sure everything is okay? Yeah, alright, so are you gonna back home? It's already dark. Home. Elise? Franz, I don't have a home. Don't worry about me. Why don't you go home yourself? You have school tomorrow, don't you? Goodbye, Franz. Wait, what do you mean you don't have a home? Where have you been staying? She cast her eyes downward. I used to have a home a long time ago. When her eyes meet mine again, they're full of sorrow. My parents and I lived in a house in the city. My dad had a business of selling potable water. Portable water! In a way, this is true, though. It might sound weird today, because there's a water dispenser in every bourgeois household, but back when he started that business, magic machines were still very expensive. There were many magicians who could cast water spells, but the water wasn't always clean. My dad was special because he somehow never failed to summon clean and drinkable water. That's right, I also talked about this in the symposium 2 days ago. Not all water is the same type of water. The quality depends. So my dad started packaging the water he summoned into bottles. For a while, he made a nice living selling them. But eventually magic machines got cheaper and cheaper until it reached a point where they were affordable to most people. It is now easier and cheaper to get a water dispenser than it is to buy water from a summoner. When I was 9, my dad went out of business. We fell into debt after that. Elise closes her eyes. After breathing out slowly, she opens them again. One day I woke up alone in the house. My parents were nowhere to be found. That afternoon, a few men came looking for my dad. When they learned that my dad wasn't around, they got very angry, but eventually left. I was all alone. My parents never came back. They didn't even leave food for me to eat. Some neighbors were kind enough to take care of me for a while, but eventually they started ignoring me. The men kept coming back, and eventually they threw me out of the house. They said they were taking the house to cover my dad's debts. I had nowhere to live, I had no money. When night fell, I slept on the street. The only way for me to get money was by selling magic, casting spells for other people. I'd hold a sign saying compassionate courage, and sometimes people would pay me to burn something with fire or heal small cuts on their arms or legs. I also got mana potions from them. But at one time, I wasn't able to get any money, and I hadn't eaten anything for several days, so I decided to steal a loaf of bread from a bakery. Unfortunately, I was caught and handed to the police. After beating me, a cop took me to a prose area and released me. He said I was free to do whatever I wanted as long as I kept away from the city. So I started wandering the prose streets. I slept in alleys. Food was even more an issue out there. I tried using my healing and fire magic to earn money, but it was much more difficult in the prose area because the pros couldn't pay me and mana potions were almost impossible to come by. My life only got better after I was found by Madame Beauvoir. She said I was beautiful, so she wanted me to live with her. Madame Beauvoir. I thought nothing could be worse than what I was going through, so I agreed to go with her. She took me to her house, which turned out to be a brothel. I see. It's that Madame Maison de Beauvoir. I have been living there since then, well, until this morning. Why don't you want to go back? Madame agreed not to make me serve customers until I turned 16, but I'm turning 16 in 3 months, but I don't want to work at Maison. I protested. I had been paying my living expenses myself with the money I got from working at the factory, but Madame said it wasn't just about expenses. She said my wage as factory worker was nowhere near the kind of money I'd bring were I to work at Maison. So I don't want to live at Maison anymore. I'm not going back. I don't have a house, but at least I have a job at the factory. I'll be able to manage. Elise looks determined. There's fire in her eyes. I can't let her do this, though. Elise may think she will be able to survive on the streets, but a million things could happen to a girl like her. If anything happens to Elise, it will be disastrous for my research. I can't let it happen. Well, why don't you stay at my place for now? Your place? Yeah, at least you'll have a place to stay tonight. We can think about something more long-term tomorrow. She seems to be in deep thought. Are you sure that's okay? Absolutely. It's better than sleeping on the street, right? Yeah. Good, let's go. Okay. Oh, I thought it was... okay. Brain lag there. Significant brain lag. That's fine. We're here. Elise stands frozen in front of the apartment building. Her eyes are open wide. Franz, is this your house? It's even bigger than Frederick's. Huh? It's enormous. Huh? What'd your parents do for a living? Are you a prince? Look, I don't own the whole building. My house is just a unit inside the building. I can't believe... wait, what? Just come in, you'll see. Overture is both a big and a small country, depending on how you see it. The monarchy wields huge political power over other kingdoms in the continent, so in a way these other kingdoms are under the rule of Overture. Traders from Overture have also established many colonies all over the world, with which together make up the so-called Overturian Empire. But the kingdom of Overture itself encompasses only a city, the city of Overture. What that means is that this city is home to the kingdom's entire ever-growing population, as well as immigrants who have come to the magical science capital of the world. As a result, land is expensive and the city has opted for vertical developments. Nowadays, most people in the middle class live in apartment buildings or similar shared dwellings. Elise's lack of knowledge about this type of housing means her parents used to have their own house, either because they were rich enough to buy one, or because their family had owned the house for generations. Franz, are you sure I can stay over? Won't your parents mind? My parents are traveling abroad. It will just be you and me alone at home. I see, it's not a problem then. Yeah, don't you worry about it. Okay. I go inside, Elise following closely behind me. I hope the guy is not a rapist or something. He does... well, I mean, I hope. I think I just heard something very amazing. Wow, the staircase is curved like in Maison. What was I saying again? My parents are traveling abroad. No, not that. Oh, so this is what you meant by your house being just a unit in the building. After that, it will just be you and me alone at home. Oh, it's a lovely house. Hey, this couch is like the one we had in my own house. Me and Elise alone at home. Well, I didn't think about this before, but I'm actually bringing a girl home, and she's staying overnight. My heart suddenly starts to beat faster. Wow, this is like the quality assurance office at our factory. Is this your bedroom, Franz? Yeah, this is my, bedroom? When did I get here? Wait a minute, did I just lead a girl straight into my room? Is it supposed to be this easy? Elise is smiling without a care, her face a picture of innocence. Franz? Yeah, this is my bedroom, haha. Her gleaming eyes wander from one corner of the room to the next. Okay, calm down, let's rationally analyze the situation. Why would Elise not be worried about sleeping in the same room with a man she just met? A, she isn't aware of the danger, B, she doesn't see me as a man, C, she is completely okay with it. Your bed looks so comfortable. Answer A, she isn't aware of the danger, is impossible, considering that until this morning she had been living at Maison de Beauvoir. She must be hyper aware of how men think. Answer B, she doesn't see me as a man. It is also impossible, because come on, I'm the definition of classic gentlemanly good looks. So that only leaves, well, thanks for showing me your bedroom, Franz. I'll go sleep on the couch in the living room. Good night. That leaves you with nothing, bruh. The door closes behind me. Good night, Elise. Can't sleep. Wait, how old is the guy actually? I don't think we ever got any kind of input. The morning sunlight rouses me from my sleep. I blink a few times to shake off the drowsiness, but it's not helping. I eventually fell asleep last night, but only after tossing and turning for hours. In the end, I managed to get maybe 4 hours of sleep. Outside my room, I meet Elise, who has just come out of the bathroom, looking energetic with the usual guiltless smile on her face. After having breakfast, Elise said she always skips breakfast, but I made her eat just in case she decides to run off again. We head outside. I have a feeling that I am forgetting something important. Research? Aretha is already waiting outside as she does every morning. Good morning, Aretha. Aretha looks at Elise. Then she looks at me. Then at Elise again. And at me again. Good morning, Aretha. Whoa, oh my gosh. Aretha suddenly gasps and shouts loudly, covering her mouth with a hand. Franz has become a man. How could you, Franz? Had you been saving your first time for my 18th birthday? No. You hadn't been saving it? I'm not saving it for you. This is unbelievable. I took my eyes away from you for a day and look what happened. Aretha, cut it out. Nothing happened last night. And poor me, I've always been faithful to you, but you... Yada! She's enjoying this, isn't she? Aretha eyes Elise again, studying her face. So this is Franz's type, huh? Not bad, Franz. As your love advisor, I must say, you've done me proud. When did she become my love advisor? Oh, Franz, I didn't think you'd be able to make a girl fall. She pauses when her eyes travel down from Elise's face and catch the side of her clothes. Aretha blinks a few times. An MM factory worker? Hello, I'm Elise Shelley. Hi, Elise. My name is Aretha Blyton. I'm a friend of Franz's from, the Conservatoire. Nice to meet you, Miss Blyton. Call me Aretha. Nice to meet you, Aretha. Aretha throws a glance that says, why is this girl with you? Did you abduct her? No, I didn't. Didn't what? Elise is helping me with my research. I give Aretha a summary of what happened between me and Elise since I saw her trying to revive a broken piano. And that's why she stayed at my place last night. Wow. Wow, awesome. You're trying to fix a broken piano with magic? Yeah. That's really cool, huh? You don't think I'm weird? Not at all. Listen, Elise, if you manage to fix the piano, it will change the world. Not only will you be filthy rich, your name will also go down in history. Really? Really? This is exciting stuff. Aretha isn't wrong, but that's a really big if right there. Anyway, I turn to Elise. What are you gonna do about your living situation? I want to help, but I don't think my parents would approve of me living with a girl under their roof. Yeah, I still don't know what to do, but I'm definitely not going back to Maison. You're looking for a place to live? Hey, why don't you just live with me? Huh? You really can't just sleep on the street, you know? Franz might not be savage enough to assault you at night, but there are seriously evil guys out there. But don't worry, I know we just met, but I have a feeling we'll get along well. Huh. But what about my work at the factory? The factory is quite far from the city. The factory? That place is awful, isn't it? You should just quit. No way, I can't just be a freeloader at her house. You're helping me with my research, right? In that case, you will get salary as a research assistant. Research assistant? Actually, she's more like a research subject, but never mind. Yeah, the salary won't make you rich, but I'm sure it's more than what you get from the factory. I see. Elise begins pondering in silent hesitation. She looks really unsure how to accept the offer. What do you think, Elise? What do you think? What do you think? Aretha can be like a little girl sometimes. She's like a kid who wants a little sister. What does a research assistant do? Well, in your case, I only need you to cast magic spells. Come on, what do you think? I give Aretha a light chop on the head. Ow, she seems to get my message to not disturb Elise while she is thinking. Finally, Elise comes to a decision. Okay, I'll take both of your offers. Awesome! Shall we go to my house? My mom will love you. Hey, are you forgetting that we have to go to the conservatoire? Ah, you're right. Sheesh. Well, now that she has Elise as her new toy, maybe Aretha will stop teasing me so much. I'm sorry, Franz, I didn't realize how much you were looking forward to going to the conservatoire with me. Or maybe not. Let's go, Elise. Am I going too? Of course, you are my research assistant, remember? Right. We've arrived at the conservatoire. Elise tags along behind me and Aretha, bobbling her head everywhere, occasionally spinning around to get a second look at whatever we walked past. Her eyes wander up, down, left, right, like a kid in an amusement park. Look, what is that? Elise is pointing to a sphere that is floating up and down above a pool of water and moving and spinning in a spiral motion while spraying water around and spreading amplified light in various colors. The water droplets act as a screen for the light that constantly moves with the sphere. Wow, it's so pretty. I remember standing in front of it every day in my first year, just watching the ball moving and spinning until I understood how to build it. You can make that? Elise stares at Aretha open-mouthed and bug-eyed. Maybe if I had a pole that big in my house. Wow, you guys are like geniuses. We traverse the courtyard along with other students who are scurrying to attend their morning classes. Some of them are giving Elise a curious look, but Elise is too excited by every magical thing in her surroundings to notice them. As we are walking, Elise never stops admiring everything she sees, even the sight of a sophomore who fails miserably at flying a carriage and is now doing vertical loops in the air. He might be able to pass it off as a showy acrobatic move if he weren't screaming at the top of his lungs. Finally, we reach the conservatoire building entrance. We stop in front of a flight of stairs. So, meet back here. Professor Poe wants me to teach the freshmen again this afternoon, so 3 o'clock. Hey, see you later, Elise. Please watch Franz in my place. Make sure he doesn't do anything weird to the freshman girls. Damn you, Aretha. Stop training Elise. Okay. Don't listen to her, Elise. I'm beginning to have doubts about them living together. Aretha climbs the stairs while Elise and I head to the Magic Systems laboratory. As soon as we enter the lab, Elise's eyes sweep across the room, mystified by all kinds of laboratory equipment that must be unfamiliar to her. It takes her a few seconds to notice the old man sitting at the desk. Oh, Franz, good morning. Good morning, Professor. I'd like you to meet Elise. She is the girl I told you about the other day. Good morning, Professor. I'm Elise Shelley, Franz's research assistant. Oh, Elise, actually, we need the professor's approval before you can formally become my assistant. Oh, is that so? Ho 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 ho! Considered approved. Nice to meet you, Miss Shelley. My name is Joan Poe, and I am Franz's research advisor. Everyone calls me Professor Poe. Nice to meet you, Professor Poe. Miss Shelley, I heard you tried to revive a broken piano, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Ho ho ho, that's very interesting. Professor Poe opens his desk drawer, produces a vial of mana potion, and hands it to Elise. I would like to see your magic, if I may. Sure. After Elise receives the potion, Professor Poe grabs a piece of paper from his desk and tears it in half, then puts both torn pieces back on top of his desk. Do you think you can restore this paper to its original state? Elise cocks her head in silence, her eyes glued to the 2 pieces of paper on the desk. I'll try. She takes the cap of the vial and gulps the potion down. As her right hand hovers a few inches above the paper with palm facing down, she builds up compassion. Transform! Faint white light is emitted from her hand. Amplify. Let me guess, it's not gonna get fixed. Ho ho ho, well, why don't you start working on officially enlisting Miss Shelley as your research assistant, Mr. Byron? Yes, that's the plan for today. I need to take Elise to the administration office to take care of the paperwork. I'll be back here later to get your signature. Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Elise. Okay. The paper is still torn in 2 pieces, completely unaffected by Elise's magic. The spell didn't make the pieces move. It didn't transform them in any way. Nothing happened. Absolutely nothing. And it didn't feel anything. It was just like the usual revive I've seen countless times. Nothing abnormal about it. We spend the whole morning doing paperwork. Normally the process is very quick if the assistant is also a conservatoire student, but because Elise is not a student, it's a bit more complicated. What complicates it even more is that Elise doesn't have any identification, which is hardly surprising given her circumstances, but the administrative assistant insists on following protocol. We finally resolved the issue with Professor Poe's help. When we were done with the administration stuff, it's already lunchtime, so I take Elise to the cafeteria. I've always thought that the prices here are student-friendly, but apparently Elise thinks they're expensive. What can she possibly afford in her budget? Cat food? We go back to the laboratory after lunch. Have you taken care of everything? Yes, sir. Good. Welcome to the Magic Systems Laboratory, Miss Shelley. Yeah, Elise's head is hung low. Her eyes focus on the torn paper still on the desk. Don't worry about this. I'm sure her magic will greatly assist the research. Isn't that right? Yeah, Professor, definitely. Well, I have a meeting to attend outside the conservatoire, so I shall take my leave. I'll leave the IMS class in your capable hands again, Franz. Remembering that I have to teach the freshmen again today, I take out my chronometer to check the time. It's just about to begin. Yes, Professor. Should I just wait here, or... Ho ho, why don't you join Franz? Perhaps you'll learn something that can help you figure out a way to fix that piano. But I'm not a student here. Well, but you're now officially Franz's assistant, aren't you? Franz is my assistant, so by extension, you're also my assistant. Alright, good. I'll see you both tomorrow. Let's get going. It's almost time for class. Okay. I head to the classroom together with Elise. Franz, what are you gonna teach? To be honest, I have no idea. The class is all about the basics of magic and casting, so I pretty much just, wing the lectures. We haven't gone into anything complicated yet. Oh. Is there anything you specifically want me to talk about? No, not really. But there is something I want to ask. Elise seems to have remembered something. Why is Professor Poe's room called Magic Systems Laboratory? I gaze at Elise as we walk side by side. Good idea. Huh? When we arrive at the classroom, I grab the door handle and open the door. Huh? I follow Franz inside and close the door behind me. Franz moves to the front, facing the students, while I go take a seat at the back. I can feel the students' eyes following me. They're probably wondering why there's a girl without a proper school uniform joining the class. I'm excited to be attending a lesson, but I'm also nervous because I feel like I'm not supposed to be here. Good afternoon, class. Professor Poe is absent again today, so I'm standing in for him again. Lucky you. Last time we learned about one of the fundamentals of magical science, which is the magic formula. Today I'm gonna talk about another important thing that happens to be closely related to magic machines. If you don't know what a magic machine is by now, I suggest you drop out of school because you're dangerously unobservant. They're everywhere all around us. Now, think about your average magic machine. There are some simple magic machines whose function is limited to one magic spell. For example, your stove can only cast fire. However, many magic machines are more complex, usually involving a combination of it or a series of magic spells. Omnibuses, for example, can nullify gravity and transform the movement of air. In this case, the magic of an omnibus can't be adequately described with just a magic formula, which is why there's another model that's a little more complex called a magic system. Hearing Franz say a magic system reminds me of Professor Poe's room, the Magic Systems Laboratory. A magic system is formally defined as a combination of a series of magic spells that act upon a set of inputs to produce one or more outputs. Write that down. So going back to the omnibus, you could say that an omnibus machine is a magic system that takes the omnibus, the driver's willpower, and the driver's faith to create motion. In this case, there are 3 inputs, omnibus, willpower, faith, and 1 output, motion. Basically, anything that uses magic spells to process something into something else is a magic system. It doesn't even have to be a magic machine, for example. When Franz is thinking, his eyes meet mine. For example, the assembly line in a factory. To produce a chassis for a magic machine, first chunks of metal are deposited into a furnace, and then a factory worker melts the metal with fire. I was that factory worker. The liquefied metal is then transferred to a mold, and another worker turns the metal back into solid by absorbing its heat using another spell. The result is our chassis part. And that other worker was Jude. It was done by 2 human magicians, but the process is a magic system that takes 2 inputs, metal chunks and courage, to produce an output, a chassis. Well, I never knew that I was a component of a magic system. Last time we learned about how we could use magic formula as a notation to describe magic spells. Now, how do we describe a magic system? What kind of notation do we use? Franz pauses waiting, but the students stay quiet. Doesn't anyone know the answer to Franz's question? I certainly don't, but I don't even know what a magic formula is. For this purpose, we have something called a magic system diagram. Of course, a magic system diagram to describe a magic system. I could have guessed that. Let me show you what it's like. Franz turns his back on the students to face the blackboard and starts drawing something. This is the magic system diagram of a simple water dispenser. You can choose whether you want a cold water or hot water, and the dispenser will dispense the water you choose. In a real machine, this choice may be represented by the position of a lever. What does that diagram mean? It makes no sense to me. As you can see, when the machine is in cold mode, it summons water by using intelligence, and then the heat is nullified from the water. We get cold water as a result. When it is in hot mode, the machine still summons water, but now the water is heated using fire, and we get hot water as a result. That's how we describe a water dispenser, as a magic system that takes intelligence and courage to produce hot water and cold water. I'm still quite confused, but I think Franz's explanation helps a little. After that, Franz continues explaining about magic systems, but his explanation makes less and less sense to me. This reminds me of what Jasong told me yesterday. The magicians in his homeland can cast more powerful magic spells, but Overturian scientists know better ways of using magic as well as practical applications of magic. There's more to magic than just casting spells. What Franz is teaching right now is the science of magic. Well, that's the end of today's lesson. The students shuffle out of the classroom, weariness evident on their faces. I guess I wasn't the only one who couldn't understand Franz's teaching. Magical science is sophisticated. After all the students have left, I rise from my chair and skip over to Franz. Thank you for the lesson, Mr. Byron. How did you like it? I'm baffled. Sounds about right. Haha. We exit the classroom and head to the entrance where we meet up with Aritha. I'm still fascinated by everything in this school. This is the first time I've seen so much magic in one place. I would love to take my time looking around, but Franz is walking pretty fast. Well, I understand that everything here is normal to him because he has been seeing it every day for years. Near the entrance, we see Aretha already waiting for us, waving her hand energetically as soon as she spots us in the distance. Yo-ho, Elise. Hi, Aretha. Yo, Aretha. Elise, it's time to go home. Let's go. The glow in Aretha's eyes is as bright as the glow of magic, lighting up her already bright smile. Calm down, Aretha, you'll scare her away. Elise, come on, let's go. You're even ignoring me now, huh? I'm starting to get jealous. Aretha sulks and turns her face away from Franz. Yeah, man, they never pay attention to you when you're nice to them, but when you ignore them, they demand attention. Yeah, right, as if anyone could stop paying attention to someone as loud as you. Ah ha 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 ha. Just a few seconds ago, Aretha seemed to be upset at Franz, but now they're both laughing. These two have an interesting relationship. I'm going back with Aretha now, right? Unless you want to spend another night with Franz, I wouldn't mind. No, I was just making sure. Haha. Little bit of advice for you, Elise. For the sake of your sanity, don't take everything Aretha says seriously. Let's go, Elise. Okay. Bye, Franz. What do you mean, bye, Franz? We'll be taking the same omnibus. Aretha takes my hand and leads me out of the school building. Bye, Franz? Franz, Aretha, and I sit together on the omnibus, having small talks about along the journey. We talk about everything from Franz's and Aretha's activities in school to my work at the factory. Occasionally, Franz and Aretha would tease each other too, which I now understand to be their way of having fun. I used to think that the bourgeois despised us proles, but maybe that's not how it is. It's just that there is this social barrier that is preventing the two groups from communicating. For some reason, Franz, Aretha, and I are able to get past this barrier. And that reason is probably why magic, because that's the common ground between me trying to fix the piano and Franz's research. Without my magic, I'd still be living at Maison, if not on the street. Magic saved me. This must be the purpose of magic. This must be why this world has magic. Why the world needs magic. Magic gives us hope. Magic is hope. Okay, this is my stop. Franz rises from his seat. Goodbye, girls. Bye, Franz. Bye, Franz. After the omnibus takes off again, I talk to Aretha. You and Franz are really close, almost like a couple. Yeah, we get that a lot, but we aren't a couple. You totally suit each other. Do we? Huh, I'm not sure about that. We're best friends, but I don't think romance will work out for us. Besides, sometimes when you're really close to someone, going into a romantic relationship with them would just feel like a downgrade. You know what I mean? That's kind of true. Not really. Huh. Have you known him long? Is he your childhood friend? Is high school still childhood? Then yeah. Franz and I met at a conservatoire event in our freshman year. I was hanging out with some of my girlfriends when I noticed Franz standing alone. I thought he was shy or didn't have any friends, so I went to talk to him. Turned out he just found the event incredibly boring and couldn't wait to go home. He's such a sourpuss. Franz has always been like that. It's not like he doesn't have any friends, but he isn't close to most people. I see. That's why I was surprised to find you at his apartment this morning. So that's how it is. Now that I think about it, I didn't see Franz chatting with other students at school. Maybe Aretha is letting me live with her because I am one of Franz's new friends. Wait, am I even his friend? We only got acquainted with each other because of his research. Look, we arrived. Oh, Franz doesn't live far from here. Nope, he is only one stop away. I follow Aretha of the omnibus. Unlike Franz, Aretha lives in a house. It's nowhere near as high class as Frederick's house, but still luxurious compared to anything you can find in the slums. I used to think that all bourgeois are rich, but there are social classes even among them. It's just not as obvious as the difference between the bourgeoisie and the pros. To us pros, though, these people are so far above us that it's hard for us to see any difference. The first thing I notice when I enter Aretha's house is the counter and a row of seats lining up against the wall. It strikes me as odd how many people live here that you need a whole row of seats. A door opens and a woman emerges from inside a room. 1 second. Her mother, right? Yeah, welcome home, Aretha. Oh, you bringing a friend over? Hi, Mom, this is Elise. Good evening, Mom. My name is Elise, Shelley. Elise Shelley. It's my pleasure to meet you, Elise. My name is Alanis Blyton. My patients usually call me Dr. Blyton, but you can call me Alanis. Alanis has a warm smile. She's very composed, unlike Aretha, who's constantly beaming with energy. It's my pleasure to meet you too, Alanis. Are you a doctor? Yeah, I am, though most likely not the kind of doctor you have in mind. Huh? Don't all doctors heal patients' wounds and cure diseases? Not all of them. My healing isn't done with magic. She smiles softly with a mysterious glimmer in her eyes. I heal people's minds. I'm known as a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist? At least you know about magic systems? I just learned about them a couple of hours ago. Yeah, kind of. What do you think would happen if to a system if one of its components broke? Oh, I know this one. If it happened in my chassis machine, I'm sure the whole system would stop functioning. Well, that's not always... never mind. Aretha wanted to say that some machines are equipped with a fail-safe that keeps the most important functionality working, even in the event of a failure, but generally speaking, at least you're correct. The system would not be working as intended. A human being is also a system, and that system starts with the mind, so when the mind breaks down, we have to do something about it. We study magic as science, and science is rational, so... But as long as there is much, But as long as there is human element in magic, it will never be completely rational because humans are irrational. In order to fully understand magic, we must understand the human mind. And so you study the human mind? That is correct. Wow, that's interesting. We both fall silent as I try to grasp the meaning of Alanis' explanation. Aretha breaks the silence after a while. Mom, Elise doesn't have a home. Can I keep her, please? I like the way Aretha talks. It feels like I'm a stray cat that she found on the street. She's cute. Doesn't have a home. Aretha explains my circumstances to her mom. Hearing her daughter's explanation, Alanis breaks into laughter, losing the cool composure she's been keeping up until now. Oh, I'm sorry. At least I think you of all people should understand exactly what I was saying about irrationality. Huh? Trying to revive a broken piano, you realize that all science we know to this day doesn't agree with that line of reasoning, don't you? But that is exactly why the human mind is interesting. Humanity never stands still because there are always people like you who aren't afraid to challenge common sense. Anyway, we happen to have a spare bedroom, so I personally would be happy to take you in our home. Welcome home, Elise Shelley. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. I won't live here as a freeloader. As a research assistant, I get salary from the school, so I'll pay my living expenses. I wish my daughter would say something like that. But I wouldn't have an income yet. I don't have an income. Aritha, why don't you show Elise to a room? Okie dokie. Aritha shows me to a room. Ta-da, here it is. The room isn't big, but it is 100 times more hospitable than Maison's attic. Its floor is sparkling white, and the bed is very cozy, unlike the bed in my old room that's only marginally more comfortable than the floor. This is really nice. Why don't you take a rest for a few minutes? I'll call you when it's time for dinner. Aritha, yeah? I haven't seen your dad. Is he still at work? I don't have a dad. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't be. My mom told me that my father left shortly after I was born. That's why I don't have a dad. I see, so it's not because her dad died. That means Aritha and I were both abandoned by our fathers. That makes me feel closer to her somehow. Well, do take some time to wind down. If you want to take a shower, there's a towel in the wardrobe. Oh, but you'll need mana to turn on the shower. It's okay. I drank a potion at the laboratory this morning. Okay, you should be all set then. Talk to you later. I sit on the bed and stare out of the window. I try to relax like Aritha told me, but my mind keeps wandering about. I remember visiting the school for the first time today, seeing its many enchanting magic machines. I think about casting my magic on the torn paper, and wonder if I could be useful for Franz's research. I remember studying in class for the first time, listening to Franz talk about magic systems, even though more than half of what he was saying went completely over my head. I think about Aritha and her mom, and what her mom told me. Magic, even as science, isn't completely rational because humans are irrational. A little bit later, Aritha calls me for dinner. Aritha, Alanis, and I have a long conversation over dinner, mostly about my life before I met Franz. I also tell them about how I was abandoned by my parents. Hearing my story almost drives Aritha to tears, whereas Alanis seems to be particularly interested, asking me questions about my family. Aritha and I go back to my room after dinner and chat for hours until Alanis comes in and tells us to go to bed. As I close my eyes and wait for sleep to come, I realize that today is the first time in so many years that I can sleep in a nice bed like this. It's funny, yesterday I thought I'd spend the night sleeping on a street somewhere. 2 days ago I still thought that my 16th birthday would be my first day as a prostitute. But then the son of a lord took me for a prostitute. I got mad and ran away and decided to never go back to Maison de Beauvoir. It's strange, but somehow my life got better because he treated me like the kind of girl I thought I would have to become. It makes me wonder, is Frederick really as bad as the lords who visit Maison every night? He only thought I worked at Maison de Beauvoir because he had seen me there. I guess it's reasonable to assume that any young girl seen near Maison is a prostitute. Do I hate Frederick? Seriously? Okay, oh, there's only 4... You have to be kidding me. Wait, there's only 4 save slots? Are you kidding me? Oh, no, okay, there's more. It's a +1 system. Okay, got it. Oh, look at these numbers. Oh, I think I see where this is going. Oh, we can go even that way, huh? Do I hate Frederick? I don't hate Frederick. Yeah, I hate the guy. But of course I hate him. Reasonable or not, he shouldn't have just assumed that I was a whore. And how rude of him to invite me to his home just to ask such a vile question. I'm only a commodity to him. No, he isn't any better than the men who go to Maison. I don't ever want to see him again. Nanny? Fire Day. Baka, baka, baka! I can't believe what adult I am. What the hell was I saying? Service me, Elise? What the bloody hell was that? What was I thinking? I should have myself flogged. I'm such a fool. I knew that Elise had gone to Maison, but I didn't ask Franz to bring her for that. I could have gone any time, if that were the case. I only wanted to see her. I wanted to get to know her. Elise even tried to explain to me why she had been at Maison, but I wouldn't listen. Perhaps she isn't that kind of girl after all. No, in fact, she can't be that kind of girl. Surely she despises me now. What was it that made me lose my mind in that instant? I know, it was her music. Her piano was so beautiful, so captivating that come on, Brad, don't look for excuses. That most moment I lost myself. I wanted her to belong only to me. I wished to own her, body, mind, and soul. I desired her. She was every bit as heavenly as I had imagined her to be. Elise, my lord, are you listening? Elise, Lord Frederick. Holy shit, the bro's like smitten. I opened my eyes to the sight of my private tutor's unshapely face a foot away from mine, his two thick eyebrows contorted above his too fleshy nose. Elise's beautiful face... Can you stop it, bro? Returns as soon as I... See, it's simping so fucking hard. There, that's better. Lord Frederick. What? It takes incredible self-control not to break this man's nose this very instant. Yeah, I hate this guy. He backs away and sits down on the chair across from me. I'm sorry, my lord, but you haven't been responding to my questions. I was checking to see if you had fallen asleep. I wish I had, you bulbous frog of a man. Aristocrats are too important to be allowed to attend public schools, therefore every morning a series of tutors come to our house to teach me privately. As I was saying, because magicians unleash magic from their hands, arm exercises have been known to improve magicians' ability to cast stronger magic spells. They built the arm's physical endurance to withstand the... Right now I'm supposed to be studying practical magic, a subject that I normally enjoy because it isn't boring, like magical science and its endless theories. Unfortunately today I'm not in the mood to study anything. My mind keeps coming back to Elise. What should I do now? What will I say the next time I see her? Will I even see her again? I heard she ended up being France's research assistant, so I may have a chance to meet her again. Maybe I should just go to the conservatoire and pretend to look for Franz. But what would I be looking for him for? Why would... Oh my god, I hate this character. Why would the great Lord Frederick Godwin need to meet with a simple student? His research project is the obvious answer, but... No, that would be too strange. I don't even understand the damned project in the first place. Besides, I have nothing to do with the project, and my dispassion for compassion is legendary. And even if I could see Elise, what would I say to her? Hi, Elise, how are you doing? She would scream that I was a pervert. Either that, or she would ignore me. So going to see France would be a waste of my time. There's no tricking my way into a confrontation here. There's only one way to make amends. I've got to apologize to Elise. I must tell her I'm sorry. But how? How do I apologize to her if I don't know how to meet her again? Which is why many professional sorcerer players incorporate physical exercises in addition to magic practice into that training. Furthermore, what did you say? I beg your pardon? Please repeat what you just told me, the exact sentence. Many professional sorcerer players incorporate... That's it, you're a damned genius. I rise up from my chair with my finger pointed at my tutor's fat, pockmarked nose. What? By the way, please mind your language, my lord. Your father would be angry if you heard that. That's it, saucer. Ha! My lord. Ha! My lord, is something wrong? Au contraire, something is right. When is my next saucer match? That'll be tomorrow evening, my lord. Make it this evening. What? Bruh, that's crazy. I'm going out, you work on rescheduling my match. He's a tutor, bro. I rush out of the room without waiting for a reply. My lord, there's still an hour before you can have your break, and you can't just reschedule your match like that. What about your opponent? Yeah. Holy shit, his brain is like, doesn't exist. I usually have one of our chauffeurs drive me around town, but before I realize it, I'm already outside the house, so I just flag down a taxi carriage. Take me to the Conservatoire d'Ouverture. God damn it, bro is like going through some incredible lengths to just get laid. That's yeah. Once I've arrived at the Conservatoire, I quickly head to the main building, ignoring the gazes of students who are probably curious to see someone not wearing a student uniform. Now I just have to look for Franz. Elise is sure to be with him. Where am I supposed to start looking? I forgot how big the Conservatoire is. Must I check every room on every floor? I walk around randomly, inspecting the faces of every male student in the vicinity. Sometimes I open a door to see the confused faces of the students in class before closing it again. I'm starting to get tired. I've been doing this for a full 10 minutes. I stride over to a group of students. You there, do any of you know Franz Byron? I don't think I do. Nope, never heard of him. You're not helping, so I found another student. Oh, he's that famous student from the Department of Magical Science. Where you can find him? Sorry, I don't personally know him. A student who's doing research. Maybe you can find him if you look for Professor Poe. Those peasants, just give me a simple answer. But I think it's a good portrayal of a spoiled nobility brat, you know what I mean? I spend the next 10 minutes asking around for Franz, but no one seems to know exactly who he is or where he is. Doesn't this dolt have any friends? Finally, I find a girl who seems to know Franz. Franz, yes, I know Franz. Why are you looking for him? Could you perhaps be Frederick Godwin? How'd you know me? Franz told me that his research is being funded by Lord Godwin thanks to the Lord's son Frederick. So he does have a friend. Do you know where I can find him? I don't think he has any classes right now, so he must be at Magic Systems Laboratory. He's always there when he doesn't have classes. And where do I find this Magic Somethings Laboratory? How about I show you? Good, let's go. Oh, by the way, my name is Aretha Blyton. Nice to meet you, Frederick. It's Lord Frederick, woman. It's nice to meet you too. Let's go. Okay, this way. I follow the girl to the laboratory where Franz is said to be. The occasion of my first visit to a laboratory is marked by the curious sight of Elise casting heel on a chipped ceramic cup, which next to which Franz is standing with some kind of measuring tool in his hands. Hey Franz, Elise. Hey, why are you here? Hi, Aerith. Elise seems to have noticed me, and then Franz does too. Oh, Frederick. Alright, that's another thumbnail, right there. Oh, Frederick, hello. As expected, Elise still doesn't want to talk to me. She won't even look me in the eyes. So, how is the research going? Franz holds the ceramic cup in front of his face and inspects it. Still working on it. Okay. Elise is casting her eyes sideways, still avoiding me. This is awkward. No use, I speak to Franz instead. I want to invite you to my salsa match this evening. Salsa match? You play salsa? Yes, of course I play salsa. I'm the best player in the overture. Whoa, I've never watched a salsa match. Elise timidly glances at me, briefly opens her mouth, but then looks away again. Elise, do you know salsa? No. I see, she was going to ask what salsa is. It's a magic sport. It's very interesting. I would be delighted if all of you could come and watch my match. I can come too. Wow, thanks. Oh, but this evening, though? This is so sudden. I haven't told my mom. You don't have to in classes today, do you? Just go home early and tell her. I can take Elise to the stadium. Very good. I will see you there. Okay, okay. Elise still isn't comfortable talking to me, so I don't see any point in hanging around here. She should be more amiable after the salsa match. Are you sure, bruh? Are you sure? I mean, your leap of faith was kind of like fell short, you know. After that, it's really hard to restore something like this. If you excuse me, I have to make preparations for tonight's battle. I leave the conservatoire and take a taxi carriage to the salsa stadium. Evening comes and it's time for my match. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Salsa Stadium of the Kingdom of Overture. We have some exciting matches this evening, so sit tight and enjoy the show. I'm already standing in the center of the hexagon. My opponent is in front of me, and the 6 crystal balls are floating above their 6 vertices. All around us, thousands of spectators are watching. For our first match, we have the most promising sorcerer in the teenage group, Frederick Godwin. Some of you... This guy's a teenager?! Some of you may remember, then again, this would explain a lot of things, how our young Lord Godwin even defeated Commander Wolf of the Dragoons last Wednesday. Taking a glance at the VIP seats, I see Elise, Franz, and Aretha sitting in the front row. I ensure that they receive the best seats in the house. And his opponent, Gustav Nabokov. My opponent is a young man around my age whose name I have never heard before, probably a rookie player. Following a signal from the referee, the orchestra opens up the match with a moderately fast and elegant piece. It keeps one on edge, but not so much as to send one into a panic. My objective, as with every match, is to destroy 2 of my opponent's 3 crystal balls while protecting my own balls. Alright, protect your balls, bruh. Gustav is already gathering his power courage, so I have to begin preparing my attack as well. He will likely attack with fire, so should I counter with my own fire? No, that won't do. My gifted magical traits are willpower and compassion, but because I don't like using compassion magic, I always use courage. However, Elise is watching this match. She is gifted in courage, so I can't let her see how weak my fire is. There's no other choice. I'll have to win with sheer willpower. Just as I start gathering willpower, Gustav suddenly twists his body and turns his back to me, firing a fireball at one of my crystals on his side of the arena. That's a rookie mistake number 1, shooting at a crystal ball behind your starting position as soon as the match begins is certainly an effective strategy to destroy one of your opponent's crystals. You're closer to that crystal than your opponent is, and since you're standing between it and him, it's very difficult for your opponent to protect that crystal. It's almost guaranteed that you will successfully break your opponent's crystal. However, no professional Salsa players use this strategy. Why? Because it is also a surefire way to make sure that you'll lose the match. In order to aim and attack the crystal behind you, you have to turn away from your opponent, indeed, leaving you completely vulnerable. Summon! A barrage of rocks take from above Gustav's exposed back and rain down mercilessly onto him. I hope he's alive. The rocky downpour topples him over, causing his body to clash against the glittery marble floor with almost as much force as the rocks storming his body. I gaze far beyond Gustav, who is now lying paws down on the cold floor to see my crystal, which has been reduced to smoky ashes. That's 1 point for him, but let's see how long he can keep fighting in the state he is in now. For a while, I just stand still, enjoying the orchestral piece. For me, battle music is half the fun of Salsa. Gustav picks himself up with great effort, huffing and puffing, his face wincing in pain. If I hadn't been so lenient with my attack, I would have won by knockout. Let that be a lesson for you. Damn. He powers up his magic again. This time it's intelligence. Fire and water, interesting combination. What the fuck is he trying to do? Violent stream of water streams out of his right hand, but I swiftly dodge it. But he is still not done. While the jet of water is still spurring out of his right hand like airborne river, he is already preparing another one with his left. But I'm not standing still either. I dodged the second water attack just as easily as the first. After another one comes, but I keep moving away from danger. Farther and farther away. Gustav stops attacking me when he finally realizes what I've been doing. I am now only 4 or 5 long strides away from one of his crystals, to which I've slowly been getting myself closer and closer. I distracted him by dodging him. Seeing that he is about to... What the fuck is the point of attacking someone with just water? I mean, unless it's an icicle or like it's an extremely fast burst of water, you're not doing anything there, bruh. Breaks into a hurried sprint, desperate to save his crystal. Rookie mistake number 2. When you find yourself in a situation where your opponent is nearing one of your crystals while you are still considerably farther away from it, a rookie panics and runs after the opponent in an attempt to prevent him from destroying the crystal. However, the arena is wide, and unless you're able to run very fast indeed, it is unlikely that you'll be able to catch your opponent before he gets your crystal. A better course of action is to run the other way to one of your opponent's crystals, putting you in the same tactical position as your opponent. Worst case scenario, you and your opponent both lose a crystal. Best case scenario, your opponent stops going after your crystal in order to stop you. In my current situation, if Gustav went after one of my crystals, I would have no choice but to try to stop him because I'm already down 1 crystal, whereas all of his crystals are still intact. Yet, he is now frantically running at me as though his pants were on fire. Summon. Summon! A solid wall of rock emerges from the floor into his crystal as I raise my hand upwards. The crystal shatters into a shower of sparkling glassy shards. Gustav stops running. He bends forward and places his hands on his knees. He is now not only in pain, but also out of stamina from sprinting. I walk up to him, my pace in harmony with the orchestra, careful to maintain a safe distance from Gustav. With a determined roar, he is back to his fighting stance, steeling his battered body to face me again despite the fatigue and the pain. A sunburst of magical aura overflows from his body. His right hand is shaking, struggling to contain the energy of his intelligence. His left hand is heating up with courage. He's ready to unleash something big. Rookie mistake number 3. When you find yourself in much poorer physical condition than your opponent, you resort to a desperation attack in the hopes of damaging your opponent enough to even out the odds. This almost never works out. Why? Because your poor physical condition weakens your magic, reducing your chances of winning in direct combat. Your best bet in this situation is to maintain a safe distance between you, your opponent, and your remaining crystals while waiting for an opportunity to attack. Yeah, Gustav seems to be betting everything on one last move. Streams of water came out from his hand again, but this time the water freezes as soon as it is in the air. Gustav has unleashed a nice attack, a combo magic spell. Without thinking, I charge right in through an onslaught of ice shards. I let raw mana congregate in my hands and summon it, creating a spherical barrier that envelops my whole body as I continue charging. The ice shards hit the barrier and dissolve into icy water that coats the barrier and eats into it. Within seconds, my barrier is blasted away to nothingness, but it has absorbed most of the ice magic. What remains of the attack is only enough to give me a chill, and I don't stop running. In no time, I'm face to face with this rookie. Gustav is virtually stunned due to the stress the ice magic has inflicted on his fatigued body. He registers the danger he is in, but he is too battered, winded, and drained. This is it, my friend. Summon. Again, bro, you're gonna kill him. Again, I summon a flock of rocks. They crash down onto Gustav like a rain of shower, knocking him down to the ground. Not wasting any time, I dash to another one of his crystals until I am close enough to conjure a massive boulder above the crystal. I let gravity handle the rest. The man is dead. I gaze back at Gustav, who's still out cold. I might have overdone it a little. Spectacular! The match is over, ladies and gentlemen. Frederick Godwin has effortlessly shattered 2 of his opponent's crystals. That was a really good match. Congratulations on your victory, Frederick. Yeah, that was a great match. Congratulations. I joined Elise and the others in the VIP seating area after the match. They are surely impressed with the ease with which I took care of my opponent. A splendid performance, if I say so myself. Elise even congratulated me. But it doesn't look like she has forgiven me yet. Well, my opponent was just a beginner, so it really wasn't all that impressive. Oh, he was a beginner. That must be why you only used willpower magic. You must have been going easy on him. Yeah, you might say I was giving him a handicap. The next match begins soon after the staff has finished replacing the crystals and reconstructing the arena. It's another match between amateurs, although this time from a higher age bracket. We all watch the match attentively, every so often commenting about interesting magic spells or particularly clever strategies that the sorcerers employ. Hey, I'm thirsty. I'm gonna get some drinks. Oh, I'll go with you. I'm thirsty too. We'll bring it back enough for everyone, so you just stay here. But the guy tried to rape me. Before Elise can say anything, Franz and Aritha have already disappeared, leaving us alone. This is my chance to apologize to Elise. Elise? Yes? You still won't look me in the eye. I'm sorry. Huh? At last she meets my gaze, wide-eyed and flustered. I'd like to apologize about what I said to you 2 days ago. She is fidgeting in her seat and looking down at her feet. I suppose she won't make this easy for me. I saw you going to Maison de Beauvoir, so I just thought that you were, at any rate, it was entirely my mistake. Just because you were there doesn't mean you work there. I'm very sorry about my behavior the other day. Elise hesitates for a moment, but finally she looks me straight in the eyes. Okay. Okay. You'll forgive me. Yeah, I do. Oh, thank you, Elise. Elise might have forgiven me, but she doesn't seem that comfortable being alone with just me. I should say something to her. What do you think about my magic? What do you think about Sorcerer? What do you think about the orchestra? Is that a big deal? Alright, my magic, the Sorcerer, about the orchestra. Probably, let's go with the music. What do you think about the orchestra? Elise's eyes sparkle as brightly as stars in the night sky when she hears my question. It makes me happy to see her enjoying herself. Oh man, what am I doing? I'm helping this idiot. No! Fuck this guy. No, Elise, you're not gonna date this guy. I forbid you. It was wonderful. I didn't know orchestras were used at sporting events. This is like being at a concert, but more exciting. Yeah, Symphony in C minor, Odore di Spirito Adolescente. Oh, I see. A hauntingly beautiful piece indeed. Is that a title? Wow, I really love that piece. I wish I could play it on the piano. Oh, but it's an orchestral piece. I know, but if I had the score, I think I could rearrange it into a piano piece. Is that so? You must be a great musician. No, I'm not that great, and I don't know if I could be called a musician yet, although I hope to become one someday. You definitely have the talent for that. When you played the piano at my house, I thought you were really amazing. The memory of listening to Elise's piano resurfaces in my mind, reminding me of the pleasing sound of her music. Unfortunately, it also reminds me of how I had lost control of myself and upset her so badly. Thanks, I can't wait to play the piano again. Well, you can. Yeah, right. If you could fix the broken piano, you'll be able to play it to your heart's content. Yeah, exactly. I hope I'll be able to fix it soon. The mere mention of that piano is able to lift Elisa's spirit. Hello, guys. We have come bearing gifts. Just drinks, I'm afraid. Here, Elise, Frederick. Thanks. Thank you. Hours later, after all the matches have ended, we head home together. That's when I learned that Elise is staying together with Aretha, which means she doesn't work at Maison de Beauvoir after all. I'm relieved, to be honest. Even after we part ways, I can't stop thinking about Elise. I'm glad I was able to make amends with her. It's also nice that she seemed to have genuinely enjoyed watching the salsa matches. However, I could still feel that she was somehow distant. The way she talked to Franz and Aretha is different from the way she talked to me. The way she smiled to them is not the same as the way she smiled to me. There's a certain closeness between them that just doesn't exist between us. That's unavoidable considering how I botched her first impression of me, but still I feel jealous. I want to be close to her. I want to be an important someone for her. I want to be able to make her smile. I want to make her happy. Alright, bruh, we get it. You're obsessed. Tilting my head backwards, I gazed through the ceiling, the roof, the sky, and the stars, and whatever lies beyond, right into a void as empty as dark, and as dark as my heart. So empty yet so full. So dark yet so bright. For Elise is... Oh, come on. I get it. You are obsessed. Okay, I'm going to be skipping this shit. The piano with which Elise performed a sonata so mesmerizing that blinded... Piano, that's right. Music is the one thing beyond all others that can give Elise happiness. To one day be a musician is her dream. I wish I could do something to help her achieve that dream. I wish to do something for her. Ah, come on. For Elise. Okay. She said she loved the piece that accompanied my match, Symphony in C minor. She wanted to rearrange it for the piano so that she could play it herself. Odora de Spiritu Adolescente is a fairly well-known piece. I'm sure her father has the score somewhere in the music room. I get up and go into the music room to look for the score. My father is a fan of string instruments, so in the music room you can find some violins, violas, a cello, and a contrabass. I haven't been in here since I was a child. Without any idea where I'm supposed to be looking, I start with a bookcase next to the contrabass. On the shelves, there are well over 1,000 sheets of music. I imagine how exhausting this is going to be. Frankly, I would give up if I didn't remember that I was doing this for Elise. Anyway, after going through 20 or 30 sheets, I realized that they are sorted by composer, so I tried to find where music from the composer for Adoro di Spirito Adolescente is located in the bookcase. I look and look, but I'm unable to find it. I've gone through the whole bookcase, but I still can't find any scores. I look and look again. As I walk to the next bookcase, I glance at my chronometer. It's almost midnight. Normally I'd have gone to sleep, but now I want to do this for Stop it! At last I find a score of a symphony written by the same composer. So this, somewhere in there. Unfortunately, the composer is quite prolific, and his music occupies a whole shelf in the bookcase. I can't give up now because I want to do something. Anything. Stop it with the for Elise joke! At last I reached the end of the shelf, but I have still not come across the correct piece. I should be here together with the scores of other musical pieces from the same composer. Does my father not have the score for this piece? That's not possible. Bacana, but where is it then? I scan the room, let's see. My father and the butlers are too meticulous to have sorted these scores badly. Ah, my father's work desk. On the desk are a few sheets of paper, but none of them are the score. Then, noticing a drawer in the desk, I open it. And there's the score, inside the drawer. It's been hiding here all along, reading Symphony in C minor. Now there's a problem. What am I gonna do with the score? There's only one copy of it here, and it could be that, you know, it's actually something really important because it's for some reason stored over there. Since the score is in the drawer of my father's desk, I expect he's doing so. Yes, that means I can't just give it. I have no other choice but to copy the score. Okay, this is a cool one. The chronometer shows that it is a little after midnight. Sleepiness overcomes me as it always does on the night after a salsa match. With a pen in one hand, the score and empty sheets of paper on my desk, and my listless body wearily perched on a chair, I set out to copy the score, all 24 pages full of obscure musical symbols. Let's see, that note goes here, that one here, and is that on the third or the fourth line? Oh, the fourth. Wait, this note isn't colored in. This one has a flag on its stem. I feel drowsy. Maybe I should get one of our servants to do this for me, but no, I can't do that. They might make a mistake. This is my responsibility. Half an hour later, I'm done with the first page. This was too slow. With that kind of pace, I won't be able to finish before morning. I grab a new sheet of paper and proceed to the next page. Halfway done. I thought of checking the chronometer, but decided there was no point. I'm tired, but I've decided to do this for Elise. Stop it with that joke. Because I want to see her smile. Okay, we get it. You're obsessed, bruh. When the notes on the score start to get blurry, I slap myself to stay awake. Finally, I'm done. I check the whole thing again to make sure that I haven't made any mistakes. Quickly return the score to the drawer. Okay. Back in my room, I collapse into my bed, drowned in exhaustion, but satisfied that I was able to make this gift. With this, I can help Elise achieve her dream. At the very least, she'll be happy because she can play the music she loves on the piano. I wonder what kind of smile she'll make when I give this to her. Thought puts a smile on my own face. I'm happy to have done something for her. Come on! I slip into a deep sleep as the first light of morning slips into my room. I'm woken up by the sound of knocking on my door, followed by the voice of a maid from behind the door. My lord, lunch has been served. With a groan, I force myself to get up and drag myself downstairs. Father has gone out somewhere, so I sit by myself at the dining table. Some dishes are already prepared. Suddenly aware that I had missed breakfast this morning, I devour a thin slice of marinated raw salmon, barely tasting it. Despite having slept through the morning, my eyelids still feel heavy as a lead. Well, at least I managed to copy that score. For Elise, of course. I take a bite of veal loin roast, but before I can judge its taste, I remember that I have to give the copy of the score. Hastily, I finish my meal and leave the house. Why, if it isn't young Lord Godwin, what brings you to my humble laboratory? I've come to the laboratory after arriving at the conservatoire in a taxi carriage, but for some reason Elise isn't here. Neither is Franz. Instead, I see the professor. Yesterday, I used saucer as an excuse to look for Franz and Elise, but in my haste, I hadn't thought of any reason. I'm looking for Franz. I didn't know the two of you have become so close. It's too bad that Franz left this morning. Where'd he go? The factory. He hadn't been seeing any progress with his assistant's magic, so he thought he should try reproducing the effect in the original setting. They took Elise back to the slums? I see. The factory. Thank you very much. You're welcome. At first, the taxi carriage driver refused to take me all the way to the factory, but he's finally convinced when I offer the double of the fare. Now, where's the list? Franz had mentioned that he had seen Elise try to fix the piano in some yard behind the factory. I scan my surroundings. Hey, you. Are you talking to me? Yeah, I'm looking for a yard. I don't know. I was told there was a backyard to this factory, one with a piano in it. Oh, the piano. Yeah, sure. Just follow the path and you'll find it. The direction leads me to a narrow grassy path sandwiched between the concrete fence surrounding the factory complex and the outer wall of a factory building. After walking several hundred feet, an open area is visible at the end of the path. As I draw closer to the opening, I can feel a concentration of compassion magic emanating from it. The compassion magic paints my vision with vast whiteness, and then I hear it, a piano sound. As soon as my vision returns, half a second later, I rush to where the sound comes from. Frederick? Huh, Frederick, what are you doing here? Elise is facing the piano, her downturned hands suspended a few inches above the keyboard. Franz is standing next to her. They blink at my unannounced presence. The piano, was it fixed? Not at all. Elise presses some keys, but no sounds come out. But your magic certainly feels different here than in the lab. If we could get enough data for analysis, we might be able to figure out a way to make it work. Then let's continue, Franz. Sure. The piano is still broken, so why did I hear a piano sound? Wait, did I really hear it? No, there couldn't have been a sound. It was my imagination. I thought I heard it, but now I know I didn't hear anything. What a very strange feeling. But I'm not here to think about the piano. Elise? Yeah? Here. I hand the copy of the score to Elise. Oh, another piece. What is this? It's the score of Adoro di Spirito Adolescente. Oh, yesterday's salsa music, right? She flips through the pages with a blank look in her face. Yeah, didn't you say you wanted to play on the piano? Oh, yeah, I think playing this piece on piano would be fun. Is this for me? Yeah, of course, I made it for you. Oh, well, thank you, Frederick. She clutches the score to her chest with a weak smile, the same kind of smile one gives to strangers at one's father's birthday party. Elise, shall we continue? Yeah, let's continue. Facing the piano again, with both palms open in front of the piano, Elise lets her mana flow through her straightened arms to her hands. Franz tries pressing some keys. Hearing no sounds, he shakes his head slowly. Still broken as expected. Let's try again. Okay. Wait, what about the score I gave her? Isn't she gonna say anything about that, Elise? Elise turns to me with the same emotionless expression. Yeah? Ignoring Francis staring irately at me from the corner of his eyes, I say to Elise, after you've rearranged the piece for a piano, you can play it at my house anytime you want. Oh, okay. Actually, Elise would rather play it on this piano, so she has to work on fixing it now. What's with this guy? I'm talking to Elise, damn it. He's getting on my nerves. I don't see you making any progress with your research. When will she be able to play the piano, I wonder? France is visibly annoyed. We would find an answer to that question much faster if we could work on it without any distraction. Distraction? I was trying to do something for Elise. I wasn't trying to get in the way of her work. But it's true that she isn't too happy with me being here. I thought she'd be overjoyed after receiving the school, but she isn't. I feel foolish. Why did I come here? My fists are shaking. I just came to give her a way out of your stupid experiment so she won't have to deal with that. That piece of trash piano that anyone... Oh my god, Frederick. Oh my god. This guy's hopeless. Bruh, this is not how you do it. This is... Oh my god, Frederick, you have fucked up so grandly, like, it's ridiculous. For a moment, there's only silence. I can see surprise on both France's and Elise's faces. Elise scowls and looks away. What am I doing? I'm upsetting Elise. Elise, who I worked so hard to please. Bruh, no. Then Franz explodes in anger. What? Didn't you convince Lord Godwin to find my research because you wanted to support it? Right, I'm supposed to act as if I wanted to support his research, but he is really making my blood boil. I can't even talk to Elise without him interrupting everything. I mean, if it were me, I would absolutely apologize, but this guy is a jerk, so you know, like, you know, oh, whatever. To hell with this peasant and his research project. Oh, wait, this isn't good. No. This is the decision he makes. Fuck. I thought he was just gonna storm out. I didn't expect him to fucking end everything. This is a bad end, for sure. To hell with this peasant and his research projects. Support research? Why would I? Who gives a damn about this project? A compassion magic machine? Huh, the very idea is laughable. Ugh. Besides, what are you even doing? From what I've seen, Elise has been doing all the work. Tell me, if she is somehow able to get the piano working again, why should the Conservatoire graduate you instead of her? Seriously, they'd have to give her a degree and declare her a mage, not this simpleton whose only job is watch her. Franz doesn't only... This is a highly rigorous scientific experiment. I have to do calculations, analyze the data. This is my theory to formulate. Magical science is not just about casting magic spells. Oh yes, I'm sure you'll have quite a difficult job coming up with a theory about how compassion magic continues to work in the same way it always has. Guys, please come down. Oh, and you're the one to judge me? What about you? You, with all the money in the world, choose to waste your life playing games. I don't have all the money in the world, but I still choose to waste my life playing games, so... Games? What games? Your salsa matches. What sort of person spends their time smashing crystals? When is the last time you did anything that actually contributes to society? What? The only reason people put up with you is because you're the son of Lord Godwin. You're one to talk. The only reason people put up with you is because you're a student of a famous professor from the Conservatoire. We glare at each other with fury in our eyes. Please stop fighting. Let's talk about this calmly, okay? You think sorcerer is just a game? Why don't I show you my magic? You think you're so great because you get A's in your magical science classes, right? Well then, you must be pretty powerful. Show me what you got. Come on, stop bickering and fight me like a real man. Despite his wild, glowering face and shaking shoulders, Franz doesn't say anything. What, are you scared? Huh. When push comes to shove, you don't have the balls to do anything. You're all talk. You academics are all the same. Stop this! Stop! Why do you always have to fight over this? I don't know anything about magical science, or anything about research. I don't know anything about salsa either. But what's wrong with wanting to do what we enjoy? I love to play the piano. I don't know if my music will ever contribute anything to society or help anyone, but I want to play the piano anyway, because I love it. Elise's lips are quivering. She sits at the piano. She slumps forward, and rests her cheek on the piano. It seems the mute piano gives her more comfort than anything the two of us could say. Without saying anything, I turn away and walk back along the narrow path. Outside the factory, the sun is already setting. Some workers are leaving the factory as others are going in, ready to work the night shift, although no excitement shows on their faces. And now I realize I have a problem. I don't know how to go back to the city. I should have had the taxi carriage wait for me there. I could try asking one of the workers to show me the way, but I don't feel like talking to anyone right now. I walk in the opposite direction. Is he gonna get attacked by Libertad or something? Their homes are probably even farther away from the city. I don't know where I'm going, but I'll keep walking. It's already sundown. Steps away, at least. I came to the factory today. La 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 la. Yeah, it did no such thing. Somehow I managed to upset her again. Why would she care? Having the score doesn't mean anything to her because she doesn't have a piano to play the piece. She obviously wouldn't want to play the piano at my place given what happened. Obviously. What a fool. Yeah. How could this happen? Not only was I not able to see Elise smile, I managed to upset her again. How pathetic. No wonder Elise hates me. She should hate me. I guess I'll never see her again. I should stop bothering her. I should stop making her feel uncomfortable. I should disappear from her life. That would be the best gift I could give her. This is the closest thing to happiness that I could offer her. If I'm being honest with myself, that is the only way I could manage to make her Elise happy. And I want Elise to be happy. Well, at least he has the balls to kind of, you know, face the reality. What was it that made me think I could do anything for Elise anyway? What a silly thought. Elise is doing just fine. She doesn't need me. Dude, are you alright? I stopped when I noticed a man staring at my face. His clothes look as if a peg had been wearing it while rolling in mud. He reeks of dog shit. He is taller than me, but he looks half-starved. You're walking like a zombie, man. Are you ill? Get away from me, you filthy beggar. Hey, no need to be hostile. I was just worried about you, man. Whatever, fuck off. Are you picking a fight? Do you think you can get away with that kind of attitude just because you're a bourgeois? No, I can get away with it because I am me. Not so fast, young man. I think I need to teach you some respect. The other pros around us are watching in anxiety. Some of them walk quickly away. What, are you gonna hit me or something? Go ahead, try. Hey, don't push me, kid. I'll do it. Do it. I'm telling you to. Go ahead. You're cold, buddy. The man pulls his fist back and swings it at my head. However, before it gets close, I unleash the mana that I have silently amassed in my hands. In his unbalanced position, the man is quickly pulled down by an amplified gravity force, hitting the dirt hard. Ugh. The man grunts while lying on his stomach. Even after the gravity is back to normal, he is still down on the ground. What was he thinking trying to fight without magic? I step over his body and continue walking. All the other pros move away from me. Some of them go inside their houses. But there are two familiar men who keep standing without moving an inch, even as I draw near them. It's you again. This time you're really looking for trouble. Get lost, I'm not in the mood. Neither am I. The Liberton then speaks to his friend. Hey, let's do something about this arrogant little prick. Yeah, let's. The other Liberton backs away. The first one brings his hand forward. Something big and round is materializing in front of his open palm. A boulder bigger than his upper body appears in the air, and then he controls the air around the boulder to fly it towards me. But this kind of attack is nothing for an experienced sorcerer like me. Doton! Doryuhik! Yeah. The two masses of rock collide with each other. Yeah, Doryuhik, I get it. Before they fall on the ground, my right hand is already straightened out towards my opponent, scorching and burning with courage. Summon! From my hand, a fire bursts forth, its flickering flames connecting my hand and the Libertan's body. Ah! The fire completely consumed. Holy shit. But even though he's burning, I can feel faith building up from him. A gust of wind blows across his body. It rakes the fire off his body like a tattered garment. Damn it. Still panting, the Libertad members puts his left hand forward, again focusing on willpower, but this time with greater amount of mana. Another boulder, much bigger than the last, materializes in front of his hand. With his other hand, he is readying faith. Hasn't he learned his lesson? But I'm not going for the same tactic. Instead, I dash towards the gigantic rock before him with courage blazing within my hands. When I'm perhaps a body length from him, I open my two arms as wide as the boulder. Summon! And then I wind my arms even more, stretching my hands apart as far as they'll go. Amplify! The big rock explodes right in front of the Libertan, sending him flying backwards through the air. The explosion isn't deadly, but unless his partner can cast Revive, that man is down for the count. Even though I directed the explosion away from me, I too took a little off the impact from the sheer force of the burst of energy. The man lands on his back nearly 20 feet from where he stood. He doesn't try to cushion his fall, he's out cold. I look at the other Libertan. Now, will you stay the hell away from me, or must I do the same? He just stays silent while looking at me unblinking. I'm tired of dealing with this Libertad nonsense. I'm gonna finish this quickly. Without giving him time to prepare himself, I summon a heap of rocks high in the air that rain down on the Libertad member. He avoids the rocks by jumping sideways to his left, but I follow his movement with my hand. He keeps dodging, but he's nearing a wall, so he'll have nowhere to go. All of a sudden, I feel the aura of his fate. He casts wind that blows on my rocks, sending them flying back at me. I quickly try to erect a rock wall to shield me, but this wind is too fierce. Before I can cast any spell, the speeding rocks have plowed me into me like a stampede of wild horses. Ah! I fly backwards through the air, my body shaking with pain. I try to roll myself sideways in midair to lessen the impact of hitting this tree. There's no impact. Nani? Still in the air, I'm suddenly caught in a tornado that sends me hurtling upward. My body keeps tumbling higher and higher. I'm being jerked around violently and I can't tell which way I'm pointed. Just when I slow down before reaching peak altitude, I feel scorching heat from below. Oh, fire wells up through the swirling wind and engulfs me. Holy shit, bro's gonna die? I can feel myself starting to cook. I concentrate a barrier around my body to minimize the damage, but it won't last long in a fire this powerful. Thankfully, the fire is soon extinguished because a gale hammers me from straight above. I plummet to the ground like a meteorite, my body leaving a smoke trail from the extinguished fire. This is cheating. This is illegal. You're not allowed to attack your opponent if he hasn't recovered from your previous attack to a ready stance. This guy doesn't know how to fight. The last thing I remember before everything goes black is the street coming up to catch me fast. Morning cuts my sleep short yet again. I try to yawn myself awake, but to no avail. Between me and a productive day are my jealous and enticingly warm blankets. No matter how much I try to get up, they convince me to stay down. Yeah, and this is probably going to be it for today. Yeah, my throat is getting sore, and yeah, but hey, tomorrow is a weekend, so I probably will feel a lot better, and I'll be able to handle a lot more of the story. So, if there's anyone watching, I guess thank you. Yeah. Have a great one. Till the next time.